Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another exciting Vobe show with me, your host, Richard Vobes. Yes, it's Friday, the 25th. At least I think it's the 25th of December. Wait, hang on a minute. It's Christmas. It's Christmas Day. It's the 25th of December. No, I believe it's January 2019. And hello, let's see if there's people out there. Let me just do the old scrolly. Yes, there is. The lovely Richard Suggett is there. Dave Baker is there. Kevin Hall, Nigel Sadler, Fiona Cooper, Paul Hine, Ian Beddoes, Paul and Suzanne Watts, Vicky Allen, Dave Baker, Nigel Sadler, Glenn Johnson. Hello to people on the computer, says Glenn. And hello to you viewers out there in the land of coldness. Another cold day. Maya, hello to you. How are you, Maya? Hope you're doing well. Steve Pilfold is there. 11 months to go. Yes, 11 months to go. A little bit early. Sorry about that. Vicky Allen. Hello, Richard. Hello, Vicky. Hello, Vicky. Hello, Vicky. Hope you're well. Henry David Allen, good evening. Merry Christmas. Yes, thanks very much, Henry. I enjoyed your video, by the way. It was so funny watching your video of us on the screen as you were doing it, and then Julia and I we're doing our little dance around the studio. It did make me laugh. In fact, I laughed like this. Almost like one of those jungle animals that are out there in the jungle that make those sounds. You'll have to forgive me. I'm a little bit below par this evening. I have a gammy leg. Yeah, well, a gammy ankle. It's all right. It's all right. Just every now and again it sort of twinges. I've been resting it today. I took the leg off and I put it on the fridge. Nearly put it on the Essie, which was a stupid thing to do because if you do that, it'll go up in smoke. That's no good, is it? That's no good. Hang on, I need to do more scrolly. Robert Crowsar, hello Crowsar, nice to see you. James Will is there, and Mark Selwood. Hello, Mark Selwood. Evening, nice to see you. Good evening to you all. Lynn Bussy, hello Lynn. Kushti Phil, hello Kushti. Very nice of you to join me on a Friday. Guess got nothing else better to do then. Nothing else better to do than watch that bald bloke prancing about doing something on his own. Got a few emojis coming up, which is very nice. Thank you so much. It's very kind. I've got my velvet jacket on this evening, ladies and gentlemen. Well, I want to be a little bit smart because I have another game for you, which I'm sure you're all going to be very good at. At least I hope you're all going to be very good at it. It is a game about sayings and proverbs. Are you good on sayings and proverbs? Because I'm going to give you part of the proverb, and you've got to give me the missing word. And we'll see how many people are well-read, or not so much well-read, perhaps well-versed in general sayings and proverbs, I suppose. That is the answer. Hang on, I'm just trying to get my scrolly sorted out. What have we got here? Margaret Peacock, Laura Riddle, lovely to see you. Nikki Jess, Graham Whittington, good evening. Stephen Bailey, cricket's on again. We'll have to watch you on YouTube later. Fair enough. That's fine. Kevin Hall, probably not Nigel. All right, fair dues. So hang on, bloody scrolling thing. It's a big nuisance. James Will says, I say that kind of thing. Oh, do you? Right. Well, let's kick off straight away. 5 minutes. I normally sort of give people time to actually get here, but I'm not going to this time. Now, I've got these sayings on my phone. So we'll start with some nice, easy ones. I don't know how many there are here, but there's loads. So let's see if you are any good at these. If you know the answers, type them in. Don't wave at your friends across the ocean, because that is no good. So the first one, these are alphabetical, but of course I am aware that although I've nicked these from the internet, of course you guys now are going, oh yeah, that's easy. I'll just do a search for them and I can find them myself and I know the answer. Put it on a second screen, on my phone, on my tablet, on my small netbook, all that kind of stuff. And then I can still get it out and be the best. Yes, but that is cheating, you see. And I can't stop you from cheating, obviously. So one has to then use psychological skills and say, but you're testing yourself. You're testing your own ability. If you cheat, you're not really testing yourself, are you? So the best thing to do is not cheat and just see if you can do it. That's the best way. It's not about showing off to the rest of the old Vobe show audience out there, by the way. Thank you very much. 5 minutes in and we haven't got going. So, all right, here we go. Ooh, let's hope I can join in. You can join in. Everyone can join in. It's all, I mean, unless you don't speak English, for whatever reason, why would you be watching this nonsense? Well, there is that question, why are you watching this nonsense? That is, other than the fact, of course, that you feel incredibly sorry for this, and part of the helping my mental illness is you're there as an imaginary audience. I know that you're all bots, really. You're not real at all. I'm just in some strange asylum. That's what I am. This looks to me like a leather jacket. Leather? A Velcro. Not Velcro. What's the other word I said? Velvet. Thank you. But it probably is a straight jacket, and I'm probably in a padded cell. I'm just imagining that this world is really happening. I think that's probably the reality of it. My son, who happens to be walking about in the kitchen by the Essie, keep him warm, I imagine he's actually a security guard or a doctor or something who's probably putting powder into my food and making sure that I remain in the padded cell that I am. There we go. Marvellous. Nikki Jess says, hi everyone, kiss, 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 kiss. I think you should be save all your kisses for Mark. Save all your kisses for Mark. La, 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 la. I don't know the rest of the words. We could play that game. Can you sing previous Eurovision Song Contest things? Couldn't we? Save all your kisses for me. But I can't remember any of them other than, what's the one about? Tie a yellow ribbon round the old oak tree. It's been 3 long years. Will you please shoot me? If I sing this song anymore, I want to die in a horrible, miserable and agonising death. Lovely man, says Mark. Is a lovely man, yes. And Glenn Johnson says, if you type them in, I will see before the question. Oh, yes, that's true, isn't it? I don't understand why we have that problem, people's buffering. I know Steve Pilfold explained it. We are testing Maya's time on the lag, yes. Well, let me think if there's a way round we can do this. If you know the answer, do it in semaphore. Obviously, it's nice for me to see that some people have got it, and if you haven't got it, well, I don't know what to say. You could write it. You could write them down on a piece of paper, I suppose, and then post the answers to me. But once I've posted the first one, we may be waiting a long time. People have got lives to live, don't you know? So anyway, I'm going to start off the game, and we'll see how many we get through. It's 8:14 minutes into the show, and 29 people happen to be watching at this time live. By the way, if you're watching on YouTube, this is a pre-recorded show. So here we go. First one, nice and easy one. A man. What is the missing word in that? What? Sorry, no, there is no missing word. A good man is hard to what? A good man is hard to what? Hard to beat up? Hard to nail against a tree? Hard to throttle in a strange and unfortunate way? Actually, I might change the rules. I'm already thinking I might change the rules because of whether we get the right answer. It may be that we want the most imaginative answer. That way, whatever anybody writes can be late, early, or, you know. So in other words, I could read out the proverb, give you the missing word or words, and you could finish it, and then we'll just see whose is the most funny. How about that? That would be a good way of doing it. Maya says, hello to Vobes Jr. Oh, yes, he's not actually listening. He's too busy making sure the poison is there. It's going to be a slow, miserable death for his father. I think that's the way it is. Kevin Hall says, I always get them... What? I always get them right as I want for peeps to give me the answers. Okay, I always misread people's texts, but, you know, that is the life. Steve Pilford says, on a mobile device, swipe the comments sideways to hide them until you hear the question. Oh, yeah, there we go. Very good. Swipe the comments to the right until you hear the questions. Nigel says, albatross. Okay. Now, you will have to write... You will have to put... If we do it the way I've just suggested, that you've put in a more imaginative answer, and then I'll tell you the answer, which is probably the way we're going to go with this. You may have to write the first bit, so when I read it, I can actually see that you're not just writing strange words for the sake of it, but you are actually, that is the proverb. So it does mean that there is more to write on your side. And if you're doing it on your phone, obviously it's going to take a bit of time, but never mind. The lovely Julia is here. She's going to be slightly miffed by what's going on because I've done all the explanation and now she doesn't know. Linda Kane says, find, correct. Vicky Allen is also find. Hard to snap. Yes, well done, Steve Pilfold. So, okay, so, because every time I put my phone down, I have one of those annoying codes that you've got to type into your phone. And you think, oh, I don't need to have that blooming thing. I don't want the phone code. And then that'll be the day you take it off that you lose your phone and someone gets all into your data, which is not what you want. Okay, so here we go. I want the funniest comment, okay? I'll give you the thing with the missing word, and you're going to write the funniest comment, and we'll see how we go with this. So, and they're very short, so there isn't a lot of typing to do. So let's start with this. A leopard cannot change its what? I ought to have a little bit of that music that they would play. Boo 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 whilst you're typing. A leopard cannot change its. What could that be? What imaginative thing can you write in there that a leopard cannot change? A leopard cannot change its tail. That could possibly be the one. A leopard cannot change its nose. Yes, that's quite funny. A leopard cannot change its measles. That would be a nice, clever little thing. Let's see what it got. Anybody got there? As dead as a doorknob. No, Kushti Phil, that's not the idea. You're not supposed to write a complete new proverb or saying. That's not how it goes. What? Wearing a velvet jacket. Yeah. The lovely Julia says, should we hold on the answers till a bunch of questions have been asked first? No, I think anybody... No, the idea is this. No, don't worry about the real answer. As I explained, I changed the subject. I've changed it, ladies and gentlemen. It's funny how people are slow to catch on. I'm going to read you the proverb, and you're going to give me an interesting like Sue Blount has got it. A leopard cannot change its underpants. That's good. I like that. That's very good. Henry David Allen. No, you haven't got it. I don't want the real answer. The lovely Julia says, can't change its hairdo. Very good. Kevin Hall can't change its bra. No, that would be interesting. Anne Osborne's just arrived going, what? Bra? What are they on about? Myers going, am I behind? Don't panic. It doesn't matter if you don't know the answer, okay? What else have we got here? Can't change its sandals. Can't change his nappy. Can't change his PJs, says Wendy Wakelin. A leopard cannot change its underpants, says... yes, I think we've had underpants, actually. Shorts, Terry Pratchett. Oh, right, fair dues. John Berger has arrived. Of course, now we'll have to have all the Americanisms. So if he can't change his pants, he actually means his trousers. We'll have all those little myriad of complications. Thanks to the very lovely and erudite John Berger. He just happens to have a slightly bastardised version of the English that we all know and love. I know, I'm having a little dig. I'm having a dig, Why not? I'm English. We can have a dig. Robert Maudsley says, a leopard cannot change his socks. That's very good. Cannot change his a leopard cannot change his stripes. I like that, Kushti. I think that's a very good one. Anne Osborne has come in. She says, I'm late. I don't understand. What's happening? Tell me. Anne, it's very easy. I'm going to reading out proverbs and sayings, but I'm going to take out the end bit, and you have to make up. Don't give me the correct end. If you give me the correct end, you go through the floor, because I think everybody knows. Everybody knows what the correct end. This also stops people cheating. It's all about imagination. Uh-oh, John Berger's talking. He says, oh, is that where you want to go, Vobes? Get me on Skype. Call me in these days and I will take you down. Yes, I know. So I'm not getting you on Skype. I'm too worried. Right, let's do another one. Here we go. A little knowledge is a what? A little knowledge is a... What? What could a little knowledge be? We know what the real answer is. We know it's a dangerous thing. But what is your version? A little knowledge is what? Let's see what you come up with there. That would be very interesting. Meanwhile, a leopard cannot change a plug. I like that, yeah. Can't imagine a leopard trying to change a plug. Cannot change his sneakers. No, that's very good. A leopard can't change his sneakers, that's for sure. A little knowledge is a common thing. Yes. Little knowledge is a pain in the arse, Kevin. Yeah, that's very true. A little knowledge. A little knowledge is a pain in the arse. I do like that. Vicky Allen says a little knowledge is a waste of time. It's a complete waste of time. That's what going to school was, I think, for me, principally. A little knowledge is where I found lambs and green pigs. There you are. Yeah, that's a little bit wacky, but that's very good. Lovely Julia says a little knowledge is not enough. Very clever. Like it, Julia. Yes, that's a very good one. Little knowledge is not enough. A little knowledge is a bald guy in Worthing. Yes, I see. Yeah, I'm coming up to Newcastle and we are going to have it out. The lovely Julia may well be coming up with me to adjudicate. So you watch it, Robert Crow, sir. C. Pilford says a little knowledge is handy when the knowledge is where the stopcock is and a pipe has burst. Yes, that is very handy. In fact, when I was going out with my friend Harriet some time ago, she lives in Shrewsbury, I live down here, and she rang up in the middle of the night saying, there's water cascading down the stairs. And I said, oh my God, what's the matter? She says, oh, the, what do you call that? The boiler's burst, there's water coming everywhere. I said, oh blimey, better turn the stopcock off. And she said, oh, where is it? I said, I don't know, it's your house. Where does the water come in? Oh, I don't know. So a little knowledge, absolutely right. I did tell her to try under the sink, and there it was. A little knowledge is not enough, says Sue Blout. That's very good. A little knowledge is frustrating, says James de Will. A little knowledge can get you into deep doo-doo, says Nigel Sadler. That's very change. A little knowledge... Pam Gill says change. A little knowledge can give you change. I'm not quite sure what kind of change. A little knowledge is all you get from a Google search. That's very true. Little knowledge is what we sort of tend to get. We accept these days, don't we? Paul says Diane Paul, a little knowledge is Diane Abbott. Yeah. That's very funny. That's very funny. No way to speak about men's ego, says Maya. Yes, thanks. All right, let's have a look. It's all working quite well. I think we're having a bit of fun with this. Right. Okay. There's some here that are not so good. Okay. So what about a new broom sweeps? What does a new broom sweep? A new broom sweeps. We know that the original is a new broom sweeps clean. But what can yours be? See if you can come up with an imaginative... this is good because it's getting your brains thinking. You're being creative on a Friday evening when you've just opened a glass of wine or got a beer going. Simon Brown has arrived. Hello, Simon Brown. Simon Brown, all the way up there from St. Neots or Soken, whatever it is, Soken Wetness. So Maya's, yes, we've done that. Robert Crosser, bring it on. Yeah, bring it on. Mark McLeod says, good evening, chaps. What ho? Yes, what ho? We're doing a new broom sweeps what? Mark McLeod says, you may walk your horse to water, but your pencil must have lead in it. Yes, that's true. Smaller than a big knowledge. Yeah, we've done the knowledge one. We're over that. Better than the old one, says Steve Pilfold. A new broom sweeps better than the old one. That's very true. Yes, very good. A new broom sweeps fresh air, says Kevin Hall. That's very good. A new broom sweeps up. Does it? It sweeps up. That's good. Glenn Johnson. That's very nice. A new broom sweeps me off my feet. I don't know whether you're enjoying this, but I'm finding it a hoot. It's very funny. It's very funny. A new broom sweeps the old Blue Peter garden on TV. Oh, does it? Is that what they use these days? They're not allowed to dig and hurt themselves, probably for health and safety reasons. A new broom sweeps an Essie in Worthing. Yes, every time, because the bristles get burnt when I put it into the Essie. A new broom sweeps Richard's backyard, says Nigel Sadler, and it needs a blooming sweep. I can tell you, all that bits of log and stuff where I've been sweeping and all of that. Yeah, desperately needs that. So yeah, that was quite a tricky one. That one, I think. Some are obviously going to be better than others. Let's just bung in this code into my phone, as you can see. Right, spin the wheel. Spin the wheel. Okay, here's a famous one. A rolling stone gathers no... What does a rolling stone gather? We know it's moss, but what is it in your world? A rolling stone gathers no... something. What can that be? Pam Gill says anything. A new broom sweeps anything. Well, maybe. Wouldn't sweep rocks, though, would it? Cat hair off a black something. I can't off a black velvet jacket in Worthing. You've got a thing about in Worthing. It's in Worthing. Thank you very much. Mark Selwood says a new broom sweeps sooty. Hey, steady now. Hello. What? Oh yeah, does he? Yeah. I used to like the Sooty and Sweep show. A new broom takes a while to get to know. Yes, but it's supposed to sweep, isn't it? The new broom sweeps something. Here we go. Nothing to do with brooms, but I wish to announce I've finally managed to crack the problem I've been trying to solve for several hours. Would you like to enlighten us what that problem is? And then it will have, you know, much more appeal to us, and we'd be able to clap and applaud you and say, what a hero you are, Mr. Pilfold. A new broom costs money. That's true. Yes, it does cost some money. Unless it's a gift. But it probably cost the person who's bought it as the gift. That's also true. A rolling stone. What does a rolling stone give us? A rolling stone gathers no... What is the answer? Rolling stone gathers no... something. No satisfaction. A rolling stone gathers no... Yes, that's true. It doesn't gather any satisfaction. It's just rolling, isn't it? A rolling stone is pointless, if you ask me. A rolling stone gathers no cocaine. Yeah, I guess that would be true too. Yeah, hang on. I need to do my scrolly business. Do. A new broom. Something the bosses buy very seldom. Oh, yeah. Members of The Who. A rolling stone gathers... Members of The Who, yes. Rolling Stone gathers no worries. No wrinkles, says Linda Kane. I like that. A rolling stone gathers no satisfaction. I don't get no satisfaction from my rolling stone. Steve Pilfold says it's only a work problem. The curse of the circular trains on the Greenwich branch. Well, thank you for alerting us to the fact that you've managed to solve the circular problem of the trains on the Greenwich branch. It's very nice to know. Steve Pilfold says, by the way, Rolling Stone gathers no lichen. That's probably true, yes. A Rolling Stone stubs toe, says James to Will. Yeah, that's true. The lovely Julie says, a Rolling Stone gathers no wild horses. No, probably trips them up. Nee, woohoo! Actually, depends how big the stone is, I guess. A Rolling Stone gathers no repeat fees. No, I don't get any repeat fees for this either, actually. The amount of people who watch these things, it'd be nice to get repeat fees, but no, you don't get any of that nonsense. Mark McLeod says, a Rolling Stone gathers no custom changes if they sign an autographed LP. Ah, yeah, okay. I'll go along with that one. Why not? Hey, James, nice to bump into you on here, says Henry to James. And Robert Crosser says, lookalikes of Vobes. Thanks. Paul Couchman has arrived. Hello, Paul Couchman. We need to get back into your kitchen and do a New Year recipe, don't we? I wonder what we could get. Got any suggestions for a New Year recipe? Maybe something in February would be good. Towards the end of Feb would suit me. Too early for Valentine's. Did they have Valentine's Day in the Regency period? Did they do a lover's meal? Would have been good to have done that. I don't know. We may have time. We may have time to do a Valentine. I don't know. It'd be interesting to see what you think. Or is there some other sort of meal that we could zhuzhy up, or whatever the words is. Kevin Hall says, a Rolling Stone gathers no satisfaction. Yes, I think we had that one. Kushti Phil says, a Rolling Stone gathers no Hell's Angels in America. James, hang on, James, how do you pronounce your name? James Askoff. Can't be Askoff, is it? The Flying Scotsman was one of the fastest steam trains. There's a fact that's just come out of nowhere. Thanks for that, James. Steve Pilfold says a Rolling Stone gathers no haggis. No, doesn't gather haggis. Rolling Stone gathers with others. Yes, probably does, actually. It's like an avalanche, isn't it? Many of them make an avalanche. Robert Crosser says, you have done yourself an assessment yet, Rich. Have you done yourself? Yes, I have, Robert Crosser. Don't tell me you're a tax man. He's going to go and check. Vicky Allen says the Rolling Stone gathers no pancakes. Pancakes for Paul Couchman. Sorry. Yes. One's got to be a bit, ahead of the game in this somehow. All right, let's try one more. We'll try one more. I feel we've been doing this for quite some time now. There are many. I'm gonna roll this and see if we get a slightly different. There's a lot here. Better to remain silent and to be thought a fool than to speak and remove all doubt. That's a good one. I like that. This isn't one for you. It's just one for me to remember. Better remain silent and be thought of. Sorry. Better to remain silent and be thought a fool than to speak and remove all doubt. I like that. It's very good. But that's not the one we're going to go for. Cleanliness is next to godliness. Yes, well, that's a nice one. Comparisons are odious. That's a good one. Count your blessings. Cowards may die many times before their death. Interesting. But the one we're going to go with is... do as I say, but not as I... what? Might be hard, that one. Might be hard. Do as I say, but not as... something, something, something. That's probably a bit easier. Do as I say, but not as... something, something. I'll see if you can make anything out of that. Rolling Stone gathers no Mars bars. Thank you, Graham. That's also true. I could quite fancy a Mars bar now you said it. Welcome, my good friend, Henry's Adventures, and Henry is my friend. Oh, good. I'm glad Henry has got friends. Hello. When you and Henry get together for a pint or something, and you come through the door, James, does Henry say, hello, thank you for joining me. What will you have? Will you have a pint? Is that what Henry says? I'd just be interested. An accountant. Do as I do, but don't be an accountant. Is that what you're saying? Those who live in glass houses should not smash fingers. That's Linda Kane saying, do as I do, but not as I sing. Yes. And I've heard the lovely Julia sing, so that's very true. Steve Pilford says, do as I do, but not as I said. Very good. Do as I do, but as he does. Do as I say, and not as I mime. Oh, yeah, thanks, Julia. Thank you. Wine my bum. I'm not quite sure where that one's going. You beat me to it, says the lovely Mark. It's a bit of one-upmanship going on in here. Yeah, okay. Have we done enough of those? I'll go for another until past. We've got another hour, minute and a half. So let's get that wasn't a very good one. He who laughs last laughs longest. Well, I don't know. There's many options on that one. History repeats itself. Home is where the what is. That's a good one. Home. See if you can fill this one in. Home is where the what is. What could be the, instead of heart, home is where the what is. What sort of imaginative things have you got for that? I'll do some of that funny music that they play in the middle whilst you're thinking of your answers. Do 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 boop 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 do 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 do. So there we are. That was the 20 seconds worth of do 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 music that is obligatory in game shows such as this. Home is where the Essie is. Matthew Holdsworth, of course, yes. Home. Oh, hang on. Loads are coming in. Hang on. No, that's very good. I've got to go back. Lovely Julia says, home is where the cat is. Yes, that's a nice one. Robert Crosser says, depends on whose it is. Well, that's true. Home is where the home sweet home sign is, says Steve Pilfold. Where the Essie is, says Paul. Yes. Where the booze is, says Linda Kane. A lot of people saying Essie. Home is where the welcome sign, I think that was, is. Home is where the expensive is. Home is where the beer is, says Vicky. This is an insight to your own homes, I'm sure. Home is where the beer is, says James DeWin. Great minds are thinking alike. Home is where the sat-nav takes me, says Graham Whittington. I like that. That's very good. Home is where the Carsey is. Andy Dalgleish, yes. Robert Morsley, house. Home is where the house is. Home is where the Essie is. Yes, Anne, that's right. Maya is saying, I am in control of the TV remote. Are you? Good for you. Is that where your home is? In control of the TV remote. Home is where the steam engine is. Of course, Wendy Wakelin, that makes perfect sense, does it not? Steve Pilford says, Hove is where the bus goes after Worthing before Brighton. Yep, very clever. Matthew holds home is where the mess is. Yes, you've been to my house. No, you haven't been to my house, but you could have described my house. Henry is saying, hang on, I need to scroll down a bit. Henry is saying, home is where the abandoned shed stands at the bottom of the garden. Yeah. Home is where the sofa is, says Sue Blount. Yes, Blount. Vicky says home is where the memories are. Ah, those lovely memories. And Cushy Phil says home is where the Vobes show is. Hey, that's obviously a winning a winning one for that. Robert Croser says homes is where the keys are. Yes, I suppose that's where that's where the keys belong, isn't it? Where the keys open. Mark says he who laughs last didn't get the joke but feels out of things, so he makes out that he did with canned laughter. Yeah, a lot of TV soaps used to use canned laughter. It was terrible. Home is where the Windows desktop places it. Ah, very good. Home is where the stones stop rolling. I like that. Reference the previous one. That's very good. Home is where you sometimes don't want to be. Ah, Kevin Hall. I know that feeling. Yes. Poor old Kevin. Lovely Julia says, home is where the paid work isn't, says Charles Hartley. Oh, yes. Yes, thanks, mate. Yes, thanks for that. Some of us are trying to make a living out of this nonsense, you know. We're trying so that we don't have to go to these other workplaces. We're doing our utmost. Linda Kane says, home is where they lock me in. Oh, God, poor old Linda. Yes, in my case, home is where the straitjacket is. Linda's also... Oh, no, I don't read that one. Glenn Johnson says, home is where the pigeon flies to. That's very good. Vicky Allen, hang on, I just need to scroll. Vicky Allen says, home is where my overgrown garden is. Ah, bless. Robert Croser says, home is where Henry David Allen never is. Yes, that's true. Hello, thank you for joining me. I'm not at home at the moment. I never am at home. I don't think I actually... Although in the video he posted up, he was sitting at home. Well, there was a white wall behind him. We don't know that that was his home. It could have been anywhere, to be honest with you. Jennifer Stewart has just joined. Hello, Jennifer Stewart. We haven't seen you for months. What's happened to you? I hope you got a sick note. Linda Kane says, home is in the bottom of the left screen. Ah, yes, very good. Obviously watching on a PC, you see. And Jürgen Takadicken, Jürgen, we haven't seen you for a long time. Nice to see you. Obviously, you know, got better things to do in your life than tune into the old Vobie One-Eyed Kenobi Showbie, but it's lovely to see you. We're doing a few proverbs and sayings where you guys have got to actually finish the sayings, which is nice. Robert's replying to somebody else saying, Christ knows. What's he on about? Christ knows. How does the guy do it? A different country every day. Yes, I know. Oh, I know. Yes. How does he do it? How do you do it, Henry? That's what we want to know. I reckon that Henry is triplets. I don't think there's just one of him. That's why it's Henry David Allen. I think they're all individual people. I think they all have different personas and they go off. They're all identical, of course. And so they instead of saying, hello, my name's Henry David Allen, they just simply get through this coded phrase. Hello, thank you for joining me. And straight into whatever it is. I think it's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. We love him. We love him. Henry says, well, it wasn't on the Eurostar. No. He didn't get to all those places on the Eurostar. No, cool, sure. Home is where I'd be if I was out earning cash to be there. 6 out of 7. Not obviously. I'm watching this and couldn't do it at work, says Mark McLeod. And I think I ballsed that up in the reading, but I apologise. Matthew says, home is wherever I lay my hat. Oh, yes, that's a classic old saying, isn't it? Terence Duggan says, my connection is sometimes very bad. Yes, you see, you're in the Euro, aren't you? That's why we want to get out. We want a nice, firm connection. Henry says, it was the one and only video I have made at home. Oh, well, that's very nice. That's very kind of you. Rupert Lloyd Thomas, greetings from Vancouver Island. Greetings to you, Rupert Lloyd Thomas. It's a lot of double-barreled names there, or triple names. It's very nice to have you. Obviously, what is it? A bit above. What is the word? Phrases and things. You're a step above the old Richard Vobes. It's just single 2 words. We've got the lovely Henry David Allen. We've got the Julia Hartley Neal, and now we've got the rather amazing Rupert Lloyd Thomas. It's fantastic. I feel like we've got lords and ladies watching the show this evening. Lords and ladies. Oh Lord. Oh Lord. Which is marvellous. Have we got any sirs? Have we got any sirs? I should be bowing and scraping. It's very nice to have you anyway. Thank you very much for joining us this evening. Kushti says, Henry reminds me of Alan Wicker. Well, that's true. He is all around. He just needs one of... Remember Alan Wicker? Because he had one of those microphones which was about nearly a metre long, wasn't he? Very thin, and then a sort of little bulbous thing like that with his black glasses and his black hair. There'll be some people out there who have no idea who Alan Wicker was. As a kid, I remember watching him thinking that he was made of wicker, that he, would sit in a wicker chair. Matthew Holdsworth says, my home is where my chili con carne is ready. Mustache. Yes. Oh, well, nice to see you, Matthew. Ta-ta. He's off to eat his chili con carne. Alone. He goes off alone, don't you know. He's not allowed with the rest of the family to sit and watch the Vobes show. He is banished into a very small potting shed at the end of the garden where he is told to eat. Because I think it's to do with the noshing noises that he makes when he eats. This is sort of horrible food chomping sounds that nobody likes to listen to. And so his lovely wife and children have told him to go right down the end of the garden. It's one of those very narrow gardens that's about 6 miles long. And he has to go right down there and so that they don't hear him, through about 3 different soundproof doors, I believe. So, it is pretty good. And if the wind is blowing in the wrong way, sometimes sound carries. So, of course, they've built a great big mound. It looks like a burial mound, but actually it is a noise-cancelling mound, if there is such a thing. Posh people, yes, they are posh people. They've got posh names. Maya Ullman Harwood says, don't forget me. I've got a double-barreled, triple-barreled, whatever you want to call it, name. Yes, of course. Sorry, Maya. Didn't see you there. Rupert Lloyd Thomas interviewed me on Radio Caburn about 1998. Oh, right. Is he he's a DJ, is he? Hello, it's Rupert here on the Radio Cajun, or whatever it's called. Vicky Allen says, love Alan Wicker. Oh, did you? Oh, sorry. Sorry, I misinterpreted that. You love him as in you like him a lot, not that you did anything in that way. James DeWill says, home is here. Oh, yes, home is here. Probably works for a holiday show or designs package holidays, says Linda Kane. Nigel Sadler says, Alan Wicker was great. I moved his travel programs. What do you mean you moved them? You moved them? Where did you move them to? Do you mean you loved his travel programmes? I think it's yes. I think that's probably what you mean. It's amazing you just put the wrong letter in and it changes the whole context. I moved his travel programmes. They weren't moving enough on themselves, so I packaged them up in a box, put them down to the post office, and sent them packing to Kathmandu. Couldn't get to Kathmandu, so I took them to Dogman Can't, which is another nice place, by the way, but no sandy beach. Mark English has joined. Hello, Mark English. I know you don't enjoy the old Vobes one-eye Kenobi I'm here all night stuff, but it's lovely to see you, old boy. It's lovely to see you. I enjoyed the video that you did, by the way, of the great day out. That was the sorry, not the great day out. The the government ministers' board meeting. Or we were bored of the meeting, so we had a great day out. No, whatever it was, the SMT. You know, the SMT. That sounds like something that Steve Pilfold is involved in. Some trains, the signal managers. Hang on. What? There must be a union for signal manager. A signal manipulator train. A signal maintenance training. I don't know, whatever. Senior management team is what we call it, but it could be all sorts of things. Vicky Allen says, I need a shed at the end of my garden. Get away from my noisy neighbours. Are they noisy? Are they? In what way, Vicky, are they noisy? Are they hammering and banging, or are they singing? Do they play a ukulele at all hours of the day and night? Do they have parties? What sort of... Who has got noisy neighbours? My neighbours apparently have a noisy neighbour. About 8 o'clock in the evening, there's just this non-stop monologue from some bloke 3 times a week. They've got the Noise Abatement Society and the council officer coming round to say, can we turn him off? We thought he was watching the television, and we were trying to find the channel so we could hear what it was that he was watching, because he sounded like he really enjoyed it. But no, be interested to know if you have one of those. Maybe you actually are my next door neighbour, Vicky, and I haven't actually said hello to you, which would be a shame. Nigel Sadler says Alan Wicker was great. He's just repeated it. I've loved his travel programmes and the music library soundtracks. Oh, good. Mark English is replying to Maya. I beg your pardon. Glenn Johnson says the one eye is getting dodgy. One eye? Which one? That one? It's all very dodgy. Mark McLeod says it's costing a few Alan Wickers having heating on through the winter. Yes, it blooming is at the moment. RMT, says Robert Croser. Oh, RMT. Was that the Rail Maid's trench coat? Is it? What is RMT? I've heard RMT. They often talk about the RMT on the news, don't they? The RMT and ACAS. I always wondered what ACAS was. It's a bit like, you know, that Acme, the Acme thing they use in cartoons for a manufacturer, like anvils. Anvils are always Acme Anvil. RM to ACAS. Sounds like an abacus firm, doesn't it? Well, I suppose it is a bit like an abacus firm, is it? Vicky Allen says... Mostly parties and music, and obviously not your sort of music. What sort of music do you like, Vicky? Maybe we can whack up some of that. SMT, Signal Management Testing. Oh, there is an SMT. So there we are, Signal Management Testing. Maya says SMT, Senior Management Team. Yes, there we go. Maybe we should play acronyms. We should come up with some alternative acronyms. So obviously there's the BBC. We know is the British Broadcasting Corporation. But what other comedy, interesting, entertaining, I can't even pronounce the word now. Acronym? That's not the word, is it? Acronym? You know whatever it was, the word I've just been saying. What other acronym? What's the word? What's the word I'm trying to say? It's not acronym, is it? You know when you say a word too many times, it suddenly lost all meaning. And that's what's happened to me. Anyway, you know what I'm trying to say. So BBC is one. What comedy things? Big brown cucumbers. Big brown cucumber. What could you do for the BBC? What other acronyms? Acronym. It is an acronym. There we go. I suddenly found it. Acronym. What other acronyms are there that we could? The RSPCA. Is it an acronym? It is an acronym when you take the letter. I'm losing the will. Arbitration and consideration. Is that ACAS? Arbitration and consideration. Is that what they've done? They've shot ACAS, arbitration, CAS for not consider. Oh, CAS in consideration. That's clever. Vicky Allen says, be back soon. Just popping out to the loo and going to complain to the Noise Abatement Society to have my neighbour's music pulled the plug. We could all do with an acronym on TLAs. TLAs. I wonder what's a TLA. I don't even know what a TLA is in real life. I'd struggle with a lot of the shorthand that people do. You know, the things that people say when they say things like, oh, in my humble opinion, and, you know, in tech speak or in on here, and people use that, or in the on the group, actually, in the Baltic Explorer group. I have no idea sometimes what they're talking about, because I don't spend a lot of time on chats and texts and things. I'd much rather, you know, people talk in plain English. Henry David Allen says, my neighbour used to had to mow his lawn every Tuesday at 7 a.m. I got a bit fed up. Oh, it's written an article here. I got a bit fed up with it, so I put a note through his letterbox one Monday night asking him to mow his lawn later in the day. Later in the day? Oh, that was 7 a.m. in the morning. The next morning I woke up to the sound of a lawnmower, so I rang up the council, reported him for being antisocial, and then looked out the window and saw it was actually the neighbour on the other side mowing his lawn. Oh dear. How it's frustrating, isn't it? And then what do you say? What do you say? Andy Dalgley says, who did Alan Wicker and the boy Wicker? I can't remember. Was it Monty Python and the Goodies? Yeah, I think Monty Python didn't. They did a whole load of Alan Wickers. They did millions of Alan Wickers. They were good. TLJ no longer is the lovely Julia and could be. Oh yes, TLJ. Vicky Allen's back, so we must stop talking about her now. TLA is equal Steve Poulter. 3 letters. Hang on a minute. Hang on. I can't read that. TLA, 3-letter acronym, is like the king of acronyms, is it? Mark English says, I just say FAB. FAB. I think Jerry Anderson was asked, wasn't he, what was the meaning of FAB? I've got Jerry Anderson's autobiography here. I read it some years ago. And they said they didn't tell anybody at the time. They didn't want to tell people what it really meant. It didn't mean anything other than everything was fab. And that was the truth. They didn't actually just, you know, in Thunderbirds when they used to go FAB, as if it was an affirmative, an acronym, but actually he said it meant nothing. It just meant nothing. They couldn't think of anything. So yeah, that's an interesting fact. Ian McLaughlin says, should not start mowing until 8 a.m. Yes. I wonder what happens if you put the clocks back. Claire Leach has joined. Hello, Claire. How are you? Friday night. What have you been up to? BSA. Best scrap available. There we go. BSA. That's very good. Steve Pilfold says Tommy Wynette had divorce. Tommy Wynette had DIVORCE. That's escaped me. Vicky Allen says, I love Fab Ice Lollies. Oh yes, the Fab ones. They're the one with the hundreds of thousands in, aren't they? I like those. Or are they the rockets? Spectrum is green, says Nigel Sadler. Yes, good old Spectrum. That was from Stingray, wasn't it? Spectrum. Or was that Captain Scarlet? Spectrum. It's Captain Scarlet, wasn't it? I think so. Wasn't Supercar. Supercar. Or Fireball XL5. Wasn't that one either. Mark English says Stingray was PWOR. Proceed with orders received. Was it? I don't remember that. Henry David Allen. MOM. Mobile Operations Man. Are these real ones or are you just making that up? Mobile Operations Man. It's. I suppose it's that old thing about bullshit baffles brains. If you have some acronyms that you can roll out, we can all. Apparently, it's perfectly legal to put letters after your name, whatever they may be. So I could be Richard Vobes OBE. I don't need to have the OBE because I've actually got OBE in my name, which is quite handy, really, isn't it? I used to people ask me how you spell Vobes, on the phone. Often they get mishear and think it's Forbes. The amount of people who thought it was, Richard Forbes? No, Richard Vobes. There's no R in my name. What? There's no R? No R. It's Vobes. And I would a very odd British entertaining services. I would say to people, very odd British entertaining services, Vobes, or V for Victor, OBE, old brown envelope, elephant. Oh, I can't speak this morning. Hang on, check your brain. Oh yeah, still in there. And S for sugar. That's what I would say. VOP, Vobes on patrol. Yes. I've never gone in for a personal number plate, but I did have a personal number plate that I can't remember the letters on it, but the last bit was VOR, and I always used to be able to remember that by thinking, yeah, Vobes on the road. Or Vobes on road, I suppose. There was no T for Vobes. David Henry says, oh yeah, are you Joe 90? He had glasses. That's right, Joe 90. They were the days. David said, yes, they work on the railway. Oh, do they? Nigel, the mobile operations manager. Is that what you're saying? Nigel Sadler says, currently watching the box set of UFO. No, you're not. You're watching the Vogue show. How can you do both? My God, the costumes and the smoking. Oh, yeah. Were that wasn't based on Moonbase Alpha or something. No, that was Space 99. They wouldn't be able to smoke in space, would they? Fiona Cooper says, hi, George. Hi, George. Loved UFO. That was always good. Mark Selwood says, MGM make great movies. I'll tell you a movie. How long have we got? I'll tell you a movie I watched for the very first time the other night. And that was Mission Impossible. What do you think of the Mission Impossible franchise? I know the lovely Julia's not very keen on whatever the name of the star is, whose name always I can never remember. He's one of those actors. I can see his face, but I can never remember his name. Not Kirk Douglas. He's a short bloke, isn't he? He's in with not the Mormons, with the Scientologists. What's his name? I can't even remember his name. He's in all of them. But I can never remember it. I can never remember his name. I always have trouble with him. He was in Cocktail. I remember that film, Cocktail, because I watched that film when I was juggling cocktails. Tom Cruise. Thank you very much. There we go. I can never remember his name. It's amazing. Yes, I watched that for the Fallout one, the most recent one. I quite liked the Mission Impossible. I didn't like the very first one they did when they killed off Mr. Phelps and they changed the story round and all of that. I didn't like that at all. But, kind of bought into it. I like Simon Pegg. He's very funny. Have you seen Stan and Ollie yet, says Mark Selwood. No, have you? Is it on at the cinemas at the moment? My mate was Tom Cruise's double in the last Mission Impossible and Mummy movie. Mummy movie? Oh, as in a wrapped up mummy, not Tom Cruise as a mummy. Mark Selwood says, it said little fella. Yes, he's quite small, isn't he? Claire Leach says, I got into Luther box, whatever that is. A Luther box set on the BBC. Forgot the Vobe show. Sorry. What's a Luther box set? Luther Vandross. Is that what you mean? He's a singer, isn't he? Andy Dalglish, superb series, costume, especially the ladies on the submarine. That doesn't sound like Luther Vandross. ELO. That's they're another singers, aren't they? ELO. I've met Simon Pegg, says Ryman Crosser. Have you? That's very nice. What was he like? In what circumstances did you meet him? Luther is very good, though, says Kevin to Hall. That's obviously not what I was thinking. JGS, jolly good show. David Harrison, thank you very much. Jolly good show. I feel like I'm struggling this evening. I feel like I'm really struggling to I think Wednesday was a hard show to do, and today I'm on my own. It's also a difficult show, but you know, you're communicating to me, which is nice. Otherwise, I'd be standing here. Neighbours are at the window with glasses to the wall going, can you hear this twit next door? What is he doing? At Birmingham International, says Robert Croser. Oh, is that where you met Simon Pegg? Oh, going on holiday or working or something. Mark Selwood says, yes, me and Nikki saw Stan and Ollie. Enjoyed it very much. Very touching. I'm very nervous. I have to say, I'm very nervous about watching that film, Stan and Ollie. I'm a great Laurel and Hardy fan. I watched a play at the Connaught Theatre based on Stan and Ollie, and it was a weird play. It was a very odd play, and it shouldn't have been put on, in my opinion. It was about two actors who were playing Stan and Ollie because they looked like Stan and Ollie, and they were doing a circuit of tributes. But it was their story of their life story behind the scenes of them playing these things. And one of them had AIDS and had to tell the other that he was dying of AIDS. And it was just this very odd juxtaposition of having Stan and Ollie and then doing routines from the movies, and then it would cut to the other thing, and then they would be ordinary people and talking about this very... Now, I've got nothing wrong. I've got nothing against people talking about different medical conditions and how it affects you, or whether it be cancer or AIDS or whatever it is. But you can imagine in Worthing, came to Worthing, the audience was packed with Laurel and Hardy fans who wanted to see what they were going to do about Laurel and Hardy. And then they would do a little bit of routine, a tiny bit of slapstick, something from the films, and then it would cut to this very hard... and it was people left. People in, I mean, significant numbers left at the break, at the interval, and it was quite. Do you know? And then I realised, because it was Arts Council funded, wasn't it? And I realised they probably wanted to do something about Laurel and Hardy because they were actually quite good at it, but they probably had to put in something about AIDS and about, you know, this terrible thing about dying in order to get the grant. And I just thought, yeah, I can see through this. They've had this play in order to do it. They've had to have this instead of having something fun. So, yeah, that was interesting, only to me. Steve Pilford says, oh, it's gone. Sorry, Steve, just lost it. He says, do some more proverbs to finish. Oh, right, okay, sounds like the producer there. Glenn Johnson says, at least the neighbours have no time delay. Yeah, that's true. They're pushing the answers under my door, actually. Love it as well. Ian McLaren says, I think you are doing great, mate. That's good. Mark Selwood says they don't try hard to copy them and it works for the movie. It's not an impressionist act as such. I think it's very difficult to do famous people like that. We'll just do a couple more of these thingamies, these proverbs, seeing as... Steve Pilfold has just told me off. My phone has just died now. Not died, but the screen has frozen. Hang on, I've just got to get that web page back again. Probably asked me to tell me that. There we go. Right. Better the devil you know than... Can you come up with an answer for that one? Better the devil you know than the... something, something, something. What is the proverbs that you can think of for that, my lovely little people? We've only got a couple of minutes. Where did that hour go? That went really quickly. I've got a couple of talking events next week. I hope it's going to be as nice talking to them as it is talking to you guys. Mark Selwood says they don't... Oh, I've just read that. I think you're doing well. Thank you very much. Vicky Allen says, does Alan Partridge play Stan? No, I don't think Alan Partridge plays Stan. I think it's the actor who plays Alan Partridge, if I remember rightly. Yes, says Robert Croser. It's not Alan Partridge. Norwich, ask a squaddy as per letter to Mrs. in her doors. I've got that. Oh, wait a minute. Better the devil. Have we got a better the devil? Yes, he does, and plays him naturally. bald explorer. Better the devil you know than the bald explorer. Yeah, thanks, Robert Croser. Yes, I got that. Better the devil than the one you're sitting next to. Yes, that's good. Better the devil you don't know. Is that what you're saying? Hang on. Better the devil you don't know than having to wear Prada. Dead men don't wear Prada, do they? Steve Coogan, that was the name I was looking for. Yeah, well done. Good show, even a God show I've got here. God show tonight, says Vicky. It's a God show. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a God show. That will upset a few religious people. Then the other guy, better the devil you know than the other guy doing a live show. Yes, there you go. Thanks very much. That's what a lovely thing to say, Linda. Henry says, better the devil you know. It's way too easy. Better the devil you know than it's way too easy. Yeah, I guess that's true. Better the devil you know than a burger from a roadside van. Yes, that's very good. Steve Pilford says, that's what happened, Claire Leach. When you watch a box set, you have to give the right answer, not the wrong one. Robert Crosser says, a God show. Suggett isn't on. No, that's true. Suggett is actually standing in the wings. I don't know where Mr. Suggett is. He's not out there, is he? We're missing him tonight. He was in Brighton earlier. Vicky Allen says, better the devil you wouldn't want to know. God show, please send your money to, says James DeWill. My phone only works in church. I'm on a pray as you go. Very good. Better the devil you know than a pot noodle. I guess that's true. Better the one that then will lead you astray, says Pam Gill. That's very good. I like that. Pot noodle, yeah, that was funny. And, well, we've come up to the end of the hour, ladies and gentlemen. We come up to the end. Isn't it a shame? Friday night. Better the devil. I get a text from heaven the other day. It was a godsend. Oh, Henry, I think you better switch your camera on and you can take over from me for the next hour. So, ladies and gentlemen, for the next hour, Henry David Allen will be doing the jokes of the century from up north where he lives. And it gives me a chance now to have a bit of a lie down. Don't forget, if you are coming to the Shoreham event, we will put a notice up tomorrow if it's likely to rain and nobody's turning up, but otherwise assume it's coming. To get there by 11 o'clock for an 11:30 start. And if you get there, you need to get a wristband at Shoreham Fort before we go on the tour, because when we have our walk and we finish our walk, we'll go on the tour of the Shoreham Fort. But you need a wristband before we do the walk. Okay, that's very important. Otherwise, you don't go on the tour. There's probably only a limited supply of wristbands. We don't know how many people are coming. The walk is a bit unusual. It's through a lot of modern buildings and it's past some houseboats and then it's back along the beach. It's on the Longshore Drift at Shoreham. Should be fun if the weather is kind. So whatever happens, no doubt I shall go down there, even if it's pouring with rain, just to tell people that nothing's happening. But hopefully it'll all be good. And we look forward to seeing you then. Richard got lost in his allotment. Oh, did he? Yeah, well, that's probably true. Jesus saves, but he couldn't do it on my wages. No, that's true. Right, there we go. That's it, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks so much for watching. See you probably on Monday. I won't be doing a show next Friday because I'm doing a talk in Worthing that people are coming along, friends of the South Downs. So I need to practice what I'm going to say there. Linda Kane says, good show again. Hope you all have a good weekend. Sadly, can't make Sunday. Last minute change of plan. You're putting your feet up. I don't blame you. All right. Nice to see you all. Take care, everybody. Have a lovely time. And I will talk to you in the future. Till then, goodbye. Goodbye.